さよならありがとう声の限り悲しみよりもっと大事なこと去りゆく背中に伝えたくてぬくもりと痛みに間に合うようにこのまま続くと思っていた僕らの明日を描いていた呼び合っていた光がまだ
Ann, wala na ba talagang makakapigil sa'yo? Ate Alex asked. Itinigil ko muna ang pag-aayos ng mga gamit namin at tumingin sa kanya na nakaupo sa sofa. I smiled at her. Wala na ate. Sorry po pero hindi ko na talaga kaya. 2 years of fighting for him? For us. Pero may mahal siyang iba ate. Ang tanga ko nga, hindi ko man lang napansin. Tear escaped from my left eye. Sayang lang lahat ng sakripisyo ko. Total, wala na siyang panghahawakan sa akin dahil patay na sila papa at mama. Hindi ba niya pinanghahawakan si Zarn? I look at her. I mean, hindi sa pinagtatanggol ko siya pero think of Zarn. Napaupo na lang ako sa kama at hinayaan ang mga luha ko. Ate Alex, it will also be useless even if we stay. I sobbed. Hindi rin magiging masaya ang pamilya namin. Ni hindi nga niya tanggap si Zarn eh. Isipin ba naman kasing hindi kanya? Tama na ate. Mahina ako pero hindi pagdating sa anak ko. Agad siyang lumapit sa akin at niyakap ako. I hug her back. I'm sorry Ann. Promise me you'll be okay. You and Nika, she whispered. I nodded while still hugging her and still crying. Napabitaw kaming dalawa ni ate nang bumukas ang pinto. Anak? Dad asked and stepped in. Here are the divorce papers. Ipinakita niyang isang brown envelope at iniabot sa akin. Be ready, okay? Mamayang 9 a.m. na ang flight niyo, he reminded. I smiled and nodded. Thank you, Dad. He smiled. Anything, honey. He left. Iiwan na muna kita. Ate Alex stood up. Bubuhatin ko si Zarn. I will surely miss this little angel. I just nodded. I sighed and looked at the envelope. Dahan-dahan kong inilabas ang papers na laman nito. Tumulo na naman ang mga luha ko. Who would have thought na aabot kami dito? I smiled bitterly. You know how much I love you, Nick. I hope you'll be happy. I paused and wiped my tears. Until we meet again. I went to his table and get the signing pen. Nanginginig ang mga kamay ko at nanlalabo ang paningin kong pinirmahan ang divorce paper. I think this is the best for us. Iniwan ko na iyon sa table niya at hinila ang natitirang baggage namin. Bago ako tuluyang lumabas ng kwarto, I look at it for the last time. Tumulo na naman ang mga luha ko. Ang daming memories, masasakit at masasayang memories. Kahit na konti lang ang masaya, still, I'm happy to reminisce. Thank you for being my home, I uttered. I turned around and closed the door. Sumalubong sa baba sila Mami, Daddy, Ate Alex, Tristan, Chris, Mama Linda at Candy habang buhat si Zarn. Agad namang lumapit sa akin si Tristan at kinuha ang bagahe sa kabinung at pababa ng hagdan. Sabay-sabay kaming lumabas at para ihatid kami ni Zarn sa airport. I'm the one who closed the door and locked it. I smiled with loneliness. Mamimiss ko ang bahay na to. Goodbye, Nick. I sighed in relief. I walk away. Finally, I am free. We will miss you, baby Zarn. Umiiyak na sabi ni Mami at niyakap ng mahigpit si Zarn sa kahinalik-halikan. My daughter smiled without any hint that she will no longer see them again for long. Oh, my sweet and beautiful niece. Mamimiss ka namin ng sobra pa sa sobra. Kayo ng mami mo. Umiiyak na rin na sabi ni Ate Alex at niyakap rin si Zarn. Lumipat naman ang tingin nila sa akin so I smiled. Bye, Ann. Kontak us, okay? Nakangiti at umiiyak na sabi ni Ate Alex. I nodded and hugged her. Goodbye, darling, Mama Linda said while crying too. I hugged her immediately. Thank you for everything, Mama, I said while crying. You are my daughter, she whispered. Kumala siya ng yakap sa akin at lumapit kila Zarn at Candy. Iha, mag-iingat kayo anak. Dad said sweetly and hugged me. Be strong anak, we're here. Mom said and hugged me too. Zari? I looked at Tristan. Be careful. He said and smiled. I just smiled at him too and hugged him. I am thankful to this guy. Anne, call us. Chris said. I nodded and smiled. Nagpaalam na rin sila kay Zarn bago kami lumakad palayo sa kanila. There was this smile on my face when I sat down on one of the seats inside this plane. But it faded when I heard Zarn uttering something. Da. Agad ko siyang kinuha kay Candy at niyakap ng mahigpit. I'm so sorry anak, I'm sorry, I said while crying and hugging her. Samantala, Anne, here! I smiled when I heard that familiar voice. Agad kong iginala ang mata ko at nakita ko ang kumakaway at masayang-masaya na si Leah sa labas ng departure. I look at my baby and she is peacefully sleeping. Agad siyang tumakbo papunta sa amin pero pinigilan agad ni Topher sa kaniyakap. Ang swerte ni Leah. Lumapit na kami nila Candy sa kanila. Saka ko lang napansin na buntis si Leah. Hindi pa gaano malaki pero nakadamit pang buntis na siya. They must be very proud. I missed you, Anne. Sigaw niya at yumakap agad sa akin. I hug her back. I missed you. I smiled. I looked at Topher and hugged him too. Let's go. Gabi na oh. Sa bahay na tayo magkamustahan at marami kang ikukwento. He smiled. I nodded. Pumasok na kaming lahat sa kotse na dala ni Topher. I closed my eyes. Napagod ako at sumasakit na naman ang ulo ko. At isa pa, eto na ang simula ng bagong buhay namin ni Zarina. Kakayanin mo to, Anne. Anne, alam na namin ang lahat. Nag-aalalang sabi ni Leah. We just finished dinner and we are currently eating dessert. Tulog na rin na si Zarn at sinamahan na siya ni Candy. Kami na lang nila Topher, Leah at ako ang nandito. I smiled bitterly. Ang saklap ng buhay ko, no? I said with a chuckle. Don't worry, Anne. Kaming bahala sa'yo. Seryosong sabi ni Topher. Okay lang ba kung doon kayo sa kabilang bahay na lang? Sinabi ni Dad na mas gusto mong bumukod kayo. Bakit kasi hindi na lang kayo dito, Anne? Hindi naman kayo istorbo gaya ng iniisip mo eh. Leah said, No, it's better para masanay kami. I smiled. Malapit lang naman kami eh. Sa kabilang lote lang oh. Okay, bukas na lang kayo lumipat doon para hindi na kayo mahirapan. Maghanda at mag-ayos ng mga gamit nyo. Although, okay na lahat doon. Mas okay kung magpapahinga na kayo. Leah smiled. Bigla namang pumasok ang isang katulong at nagpasok ng pineapple pie. Bigla namang sumama ang sikmura ko at parang naduduwal ng maamoy ko iyon. I covered my mouth and tried to calm myself pero hindi ko talaga kaya. Agad akong tumakbo sa sink at sumuka ng sumuka. Lumapit din sa akin sila Topher at Leah sa kahinimas ang likod ko. Anne, are you fine? Leah asked. I nodded. Naghugas ako ng bibig at humarap sa kanila. Okay lang ako, pasensya na. Pagod lang ako kaya siguro ganito. Mauuna na ako. I said. They just both nodded. Be fine. Good night. Leah said and hugged me. Topher just nodded. Habang paakyat ako ng hagdan, may pumapasok na ideya sa utak ko. Yung pagkahilo ko ng madalas, pagsusuka at pagiging antukin. But no, hindi. Pagod lang to. Liana, point of view. I knock, tries to Anne's room and called her. Ate! I got alarmed and worried when I heard Candy scream, so I tapped the door harshly for how many times? Candy? I called. Candy opened the door and worriedly looked at me while holding Zarn. Ate Leah! Si Ate Anne! I gasped and rushed to Anne, who is unconscious on the floor. I tried waking her up but nothing is happening. Topher! Christopher! I shouted. That man better not be deaf at this moment. Han, bakit? He asked worriedly. Anong nangyari kay Anne? He ran to us and helped me get up first before checking Anne's pulse. Narinig ko po kasing may sumusuka kanina tapos po, pagkabalik namin ni Zarn mula veranda, ganyan na po si Ate Anne. Naiiyak na sabi ni Candy. Ano ba Topher? Buhatin mo na para madala sa ospital. Hindi ko tuloy maiwasang hindi masigawan si Topher. Natataranta na talaga ako. I am damn worried. Hindi naman siguro siya nagpakamatay, di ba? Agad naman niya itong binuhat, kaya sumunod na rin kami. Pero agad lumingon si Topher nang marinig sigurong susunod ako. "No, Leah, you're staying." Matigas niyang sabi, "You are pregnant with my kids and I am not risking you to go in hospital." "Oo na," I shot back. Ang dami pa niyang sinabi. Now, I have no choice but to stay. Fine. "Candy, iwan mo na kay Myra si Nika." Baling niya kay Candy at kaagad na lumapit si Myra para kunin si Zarn. Sitting down on the couch, napaisip naman ako agad nang makaalis na sila Topher. There might be another reason for her unconsciousness. "Ate Leia, okay ka lang?" Tanong ni Myra habang inihili si Zarn. "I prefer ate than mom. It sounds like a terror boss to me." Tumango ako. "I'm fine, Myra. Sige na, pakialagaan na muna din si Zarn. Si AC ba, kumain na ng umagahan?" "Kumakain pa po ate. Pangalawang plato na po niya iyon." Natatawang sabi niya. I just smiled and nodded. Nagpunta na rin si Myra at Zarn sa dining kung nasaan si AC. Isa pa yung anak kong yun na pinoproblema ko. Napakatakaw. But my most concern for now is Anne. Simula nang makarating sila, pansin ko nang may kakaiba sa kanya. She could possibly be pregnant. Samantala, sa kabilang banda, Anne, point of view. I groaned the moment I opened my eyes and realized I am in a hospital room. Bakit ba ako nandito? Kanina lang nagising ako dahil sumama ang pakiramdam ko at kinailangan kong dumuwal tapos... Okay, I went unconscious. Bigla namang bumukas ang pinto at pumasok si Topher kasama ang isang babaeng doktor. "Hey Anne, how are you?" Topher asked. "I feel better." I answered. "Hi Anne." Bati naman ng doktora. "This doctor sure looks pretty and sophisticated. She looks more like a model than a doctor though." "I'm Tricia Guzman, Topher's cousin." She smiled. "What? If she is Topher's cousin, and surely she is also Nick's cousin." I uttered before looking away. "Don't worry, Anne. Christopher told me everything." She smiled. "But can I just ask what happened? You seemed fine the last time he asked me about you. I mean, about you being pregnant." "He was concerned before, I bet." I smiled weakly. "I don't know, Doc. Maybe we are not for each other." But I did not do well as a wife. "Hey!" Topher tapped my shoulder gently. "Anne, it's him who's an idiot for hurting you. Remember that?" He smiled. I nodded and smiled at him too. "So, are you ready to hear the news?" The doctor asked excitedly. "You're 2 months pregnant." She exclaimed that made me speechless for a moment. Para akong nanghina. Kung kailan wala na talagang pag-asa sa amin ni Nick, saka ako nabuntis. Hindi naman ako nagsisisi na buntis ako. Alam kong kanya to at blessing siya. Pero ang mahirap lang isipin kung paano ko sila papalakihin ni Zarn at kung ano ang isasagot ko kapag tinanong nila kung sino ang ama nila. And what would I do to give them everything they need, both material things and the love of a complete family? "Sweetie, stop crying. It would be bad for you, and you know, thanks to the advancement of technology, Nick sure is a shooter." She mockingly asked. "What?" I asked. "That was a joke I find I did not like." She widely smiled. "You're carrying 3 babies, Anne?" My mouth hung. "Wait, 3? I am carrying 3 babies? Oh God!" My eyes heated as I bring my hand on my tummy. "I'll go ahead, okay? Topher, keep a look of her for me." She smiled. "Thanks, ate," Topher said and nodded. "Salamat po," I said. She just smiled and left. Could I do this? Could I raise 4 kids on my own? Would I be a good mother? Paano kami? Will they have a good and deserving mother? "Anne, we're here. Hindi ka namin pababayaan," Topher assured. "Sandali lang. I have to make a call to the office. Papunta na rin si Candy dito. Bumili lang siya ng agahan nyo. And you better tell this to Mom and Dad." He smiled. "Thank you," I mouted. Pinanood ko na lang siyang lumabas ng kwarto. Paano na to? Mahihirapan kami ni Candy sa sitwasyon ko. Sana ko kukuha ng ipapakain ko sa kanila. But Topher's right. I better say this to their parents. I better ask for help. Kakapalan ko na ang mukha ko. Wala na akong ibang naiisip. All I would ask for them, though, is just a decent job that could support us all. Yun lang. Hi, Iha. How are you, anak? I am glad you called, Mom said happily the moment she answered the call. I sat on the bed and sighed. We came home from the hospital at pagkarating namin, inihanda ko agad ay sarili ko na makausap sila. I know they are nice but still, talking to them makes me anxious. Okay naman po si Zarn at Candy. How about you, anak? Hindi po, I said, and tears started to fall. I'm pregnant, I said, and failed to avoid my voice from cracking because of pain, happiness, and frustration. Oh God, I'm so happy, dear. Listen to me, okay? Papupuntahin ko dyan si Mama Linda para hindi kayo mahirapan, ha? Total, lahat ng pangangailangan nyo, kami nang bahala, anak. Huwag mo lang kaming ipagkait sa mga anak mo, she said softly. Hindi po sa ganun. Magpapatulong lang po sana ako sa trabaho. Anak, please, hayaan mong kaming bumawi. Please, anak. I wiped the tears that fell. Salamat po. Maraming salamat po. Anak naman, of course, it's nothing. Wala pa ito sa mga kabayaran sa ginawa ni Nick sa'yo, anak. Pasensya ka na. You do not know how guilty I am. Hindi po kayo ang may kasalanan. Kamusta po pala siya? I asked and tears kept on falling again silently. Masaya na kaya siya? I don't know, anak. We haven't contacted him since you left. Mamaya pa ang uwi niya dito. Okay po. Walang gana kong sagot at sumandal sa headboard. Anak, tandaan mo ha, nandito kami. Napakaswerte ni Nick na mahal mo siya. Napakaswerte namin sa iyo, Iha. You are a good and loving woman. Your children are blessed. Please, huwag mong ipagkait sa amin ang mga apo namin, ha? She said with her voice cracking. I wiped the new sets of tears. Opo, makakaasa po kayo. Sige po, gabi na rin dyan. Baka po nakakaistorbo ako. Okay, anak. Kiss me to Zarina. Mama Linda will be flying tomorrow. Yes po, maraming salamat po sa lahat. Anything for you, anak. Goodbye. We're just here. I smiled. Thank you po. She ended the call. I stared at the ceiling and smiled. Kaya ko to. Kakayanin ko to.